guys, welcome back to my channel, Psychic Goddess Erica. Let's go ahead and jump on into the September forecast for the collective. However, I do like to say that just as all of my forecasts go and all of my pick a card readings go, it's really timeless. So even though it may say it's for a certain time, it can really apply to any time that you see the video. So for example, if you are in September and the forecast for August pops up, if you're in week 1 of September, go ahead and click on week 1 in that August forecast, and those messages can still apply to you at that time. And that goes along for any of my forecasts or pick a card readings. So if it starts playing on its own, or if you feel drawn to it, or you just want to click on it, if it pops up as a suggestion, it's likely something in there that can resonate for you at that point in time. So this is going to cover the 4 weeks of September for 2021, or whenever you see this. And so you can apply that to any time that you see it. And also, as always, I'm going to be putting the timestamps down below in the description, so that if you want to go back to each week and replay something later, or if you want to watch the whole thing and then later on go back to each week as the weeks go along, the timestamps will be below in the description for you guys to go ahead and do that. Today I'm working with the Archer's Answers Oracle deck created by me, as well as my newest deck, the Archer's Career Oracle deck. And both of these, the information on where you can go to get them will also be down below in the description. And then I'm also working with the Native American Tarot, and this is the Power Animal Oracle cards. Let me just get a sip of my green drink smoothie thing. Okay. So let's jump on in. As always, I like to do a general message for the overall month, and then I go into each week. And remember to like this video as you tune in. Give it a thumbs up so that it's further shared and recommended to others in the algorithm. Remember to subscribe to my channel, like, comment, and share, and so on. What is the universal message for the collective? May the messages resonate with anyone and everyone who sees this, whenever they see this, truth be told. Looking into September of 2021, but may the messages also apply for anyone and everyone who may happen to see this at another time if they choose to look at it, truth be told. Okay, so the first message is the 4 of Chalices, which is the 4 of Cups. So September is bringing in the energy of healing wounds, is what I'm picking up from this. Healing old wounds, releasing old wounds. This is a moose. I don't know if you guys can see it, the moose, but it almost looks as though the moose is crying out in pain, or maybe releasing emotions of some kind. It looks like this moose is definitely being vocal and releasing something. So I am picking up an energy of taking some time to self in September for self-care, healing and releasing of old wounds, or being vocal about something that needs to be expressed. Whether that is something joyful that needs to be expressed, or something of a pain that needs to be expressed. I definitely get this energy of needing to be vocal and needing to be like just letting it out kind of an energy. And I am getting this energy of, the reason I feel like it is more about releasing old wounds, because the energy I'm picking up is also still more of an energy of like withdrawal, because there's certain things that you may just feel you're very tired of. And so I feel this need to first of all, let it all out, however you need to feel like you need to let it all out, and then taking some time for self-care, because you just need some space from it all. You just kind of feel like you want to disconnect or take space from something or someone. Some of you may want to take social media detoxes and just remove the apps from your phone temporarily to take some time for self-care. And then my hand, well, I won't call it an accident because all happens for a reason, but my hand hit it and the Four of Chalices, Four of Cups flew out, and then the Seven of Swords was revealed right on under it. And this person, in this depiction of it, they have a fox coat and fox head on their head, and they're dancing under the full moon. And what I'm picking up from this is just that there's a little bit of a trickster energy about this, and Seven of Swords energy combined. So going along with the feelings of like needing to disconnect, I feel this applies because I feel that a lot of people in September, whenever they're seeing this, are going to just be feeling like not everyone watching, not everyone's opinions are going to have your particular personal best interest in mind. So it's a time to take a step back and practice self-care. I'm also picking up this energy of wanting to be protective of the things that you have worked for, or the change that you have worked to create within yourself or an environment. Wanting to be protective, feeling like there's a need to proceed with caution with something or someone, however it resonates. This is a general reading. And then also just in some ways kind of just watching your back a little bit, watching your own back. And you know, there is a little bit of a secretive energy there. So for some of you, you being secretive can be in a negative way. So if you know you're that person, then maybe take some time to reflect on, why are you being secretive? Why are you lying? Why are you hiding? Why are you manipulating? But also, being secretive doesn't always have to necessarily be a bad thing. Being secretive could be that you're just working on your ideas in a more private way, or you're just you just don't have to share everything with everyone all the time, and you're just keeping, you know, your personal life to your personal life, and that's perfectly fine. For some of you, this could even be being secretive in the sense that maybe you're planning a surprise for someone, and you just gotta tiptoe and proceed with caution as well with all of that. And so, and even when I say trickster energy is not always a bad thing, because trickster energy also teaches you lessons, you know. So that's the first messages coming through, I feel, going on with September. Let's jump on over to the Power Animal Oracle. September, whenever you see this video. Universal messages for the collective. May they resonate with anyone and everyone who sees this, whenever they see it, truth be told. Okay, so we have, what is this, a double moose message? The moose. So the energy of the moose is definitely present in September as a animal totem, animal spirit guide. So on your own time as well, you may want to just look up spiritual meaning, symbolism for a moose, because that energy is animal medicine taking place in September times double, because it came up back to back. But when I think of a moose, even before I get to the card, when I think of a moose, I think of an energy of being strong, of being stubborn, very stubborn sometimes, but more so in the sense of being solid as well. I think of protection because they have horns, which is natural protection. And it's also a resource, it's a tool. So being resourceful, using the tools that you have, the natural abilities and skills that you have. I think of majestic energy. I think of like a nurturing energy as well, or like sustenance, because I know some people will even eat moose meat. And I just think of the ability to provide nurturing and sustenance as well. So that's some of the energy I'm picking up coming through for September that we need to embody and take on. The message here is of authority. So September is a time of being your own authority in your own life. You know, taking your own power back, knowing that no one is in charge of your life but you. You are fully responsible for the direction that your life is headed. A lot of you may want to be like taking on creating your own business or being more involved in your own business. And some of you may just want to take on more of a leadership role in some other area of your life, whether it's within the job that you currently have, or maybe it's taking on more of a leadership role, taking on more responsibilities in your home or as a partner, whether as a romantic partner or a business partner or a friendship or family. Some of you may also have to deal with somebody of authority, like for example, like if you are going through something with legal matters, or if you have to go through some sort of a program or institution to get approved for something, or maybe it's school, or maybe it's something with the medical field, whatever it is. Some of you may be dealing with other people who are, there's like a system, and you have to deal with people that are considered in authority or something to either figure out what you should do next, to take in advice or to approve something or something of that nature. The message here on the bottom is you know what is best for you. So even if you are someone who's looking to somebody else who you consider to be an authority, just know at the end of the day, your own intuition, your own discernment is that you know what's best for you. So trust what you feel intuitively. Let's move on over to the Archer's Career Oracle deck. Look at the holograph. I'm trying to show that off. I just heard Spirit say, yes, start planning. So whoever needs to hear this, may that resonate with you in terms of planning something that maybe you've already been thinking or considering, or maybe once September comes around and you look back on this, or whenever you see this video and you look back on it and you're like, okay, that's what that was about. Okay, and the message here is bad idea. So, but when I asked Spirit, bad idea, what's a bad idea? I saw this image of somebody doing like a chemical experiment and mixing two things together, and then there's this explosion. And so I just heard the word like reaction or reactive. So something isn't mixing, and it's a bad idea to try to force it to mix, or it's a bad idea to keep moving forward with something. So maybe that has somewhat something to do with needing to plan the next move, because maybe what you're currently doing was a bad idea, or what you thought you were about to do was a bad idea. However this resonates. And the message up here at the top, there is a time frame saying not this year. At the top, I don't know if you can see it or pause this or zoom in. So maybe what I feel Spirit is saying is right now it's a bad idea, whatever this is or what you were considering, at least not this year. Like this year is not the timing. Maybe wait until, maybe check back and maybe we could visit it next year, which is not that far off. We're already kind of towards the end of 2021 at this time. But if you're seeing it at another time, then this message can still apply. Maybe not this year, it's a bad idea for this year, but maybe another time. I just want to expand. Yeah, educator. So there's maybe more to learn about, or maybe more lessons that will come into play that you'll understand later why the timing was not right for it, whatever it is. However this will apply to you in your life and your situation personally. Some of you also are considering becoming an educator or being more of a teacher in some way, shape, or form, whether that's within the actual school system or whether that's like with what you do for a career. Teaching and educator, you help people learn, you help spread knowledge in some way, shape, or form. For some of you, and Spirit is saying keep going for it, but at the same time, what I'm hearing, maybe going back to that reaction energy of, some of you may not get the reactions you were thinking or hoping for right away, but at the same time, I still see this energy of people like looking back and reflecting on the message later, and maybe it just takes a while for it to sink in what you were trying to teach them, what you were trying to explain, if you're a reader like me, maybe this is something, for example, that they didn't understand the reading right away, for example, but after some time, and it kind of began to sink in, and then they got the message later on. So you were able to educate them even though it didn't feel like it at that time. But apply that to however that fits into your life. Archer's Answers Oracle, let's see. Okay, and we have Make Magic. September is a great, and by the way, guys, it's spelled with a K on purpose for people that don't understand why people spell magic with a C and a K sometimes. It just basically is a way of showing the difference between actual magic and spell work and power and manifestation versus the show stage magic, like with the magician on stage pulling a rabbit out of a hat. Like, it shows that difference. So in other words, but anyway, September is a good time to make magic. September is a good time to set your intentions, set your manifestations, or even magic in the sense of clearing energy that you do not want, or releasing what you do no longer want to move forward. Just fixing my shirt. So September is a great time to make magic, to know your magic, to use your power, to make things happen. And also with September being an energy of the month 9, it's an energy, it does carry an energy of like spiritual growth and ascension, because you're beginning to close out old versions of you in old chapters that just don't need to keep moving forward. So if doors are closing in your life in or around September, trust and believe it's for the best. Okay, so just keep moving forward. And it's definitely a time of releasing people and situations that just are no longer a match for you. And I keep hearing, don't take it so personal. Don't take things so personal is what I'm hearing for September. So all that being said, let's look at each week. So for week 1, sorry if you got that noise is annoying. I have the window open, and the pulley thing for the blinds keeps clicking, but it's almost meditative for me. Anyway, so week 1 is the message of the Hanged Man for September. And what I like about this particular image of the Hanged Man is it's almost like this person, yes, they're seeing things from a new level, from a bird's eye view. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there is somebody here hanging upside down and pouring a liquid, looks like water, onto the tribe down here. And there's even a bear over here participating in it. And so there's a bear, it looks like a skunk, there's a bunch of animals. But anyway, what I'm hearing and feeling from this energy for the first week of September is being more so in a perspective of observation, and being more mindful of the actions you're taking, or taking a pause before you take action on something, because it's almost like the energy of like being a little bit more cautious of what you're pouring out there, what you're putting out there to the world for everyone else to take part in, and just knowing that anytime you decide to respond to someone or start a conversation with someone, or anything like that, you are opening yourself up to receive energy from that person as an exchange back and forth. So just being mindful of that, I guess. And then also, I am getting this energy of just like community and also ancestral help being around. I feel this energy of like heavy support from your ancestors, from your loved ones on the other side, within the great beyond and source, from even your animal spirit guides, and so on. So the first week of September is about slowing down before making a choice or reacting to something. It's about looking being in observation mode. It's also about this energy of like sacrifice and letting go, knowing what's worth putting energy towards and what's not, letting go of what needs to be let go for the best, for the greater good. things like that. But I'm also seeing here, kind of going along with that, is the message of gossip or evil eye. So this is kind of going back to the energy, like I was saying, of being more mindful of who you are choosing to respond to or communicate with, because then you're opening up to an energy exchange. And there is this energy of gossip and jealousy and all of this going on in September, bumping of heads, people disagreeing, not seeing eye to eye, that kind of an energy. So heavy opinions going back and forth, whether it's in your personal life or whether it is something that's happening in the larger collective that you're seeing like online or something. But for some of you, this is a message to detach from drama, to, like I was saying earlier, about disconnecting from certain environments or people if you need to, maybe even taking a social media break, detox if you have to protect your own energy, especially if you are someone who can easily feel when somebody is using you as a source to feed off of energy, or if you can sense that somebody is not actually wishing you well wishes. But some of you, this is also a message that, you know what, you need to check yourself, because you are the one gossiping too much. You're the one throwing shade, and you need to kind of take into account, okay, what's the root cause that is making you do that? Look at yourself. We also have week 1, the message of the raccoon for week 1 of September, or whenever you see this in the week 1. Raccoon energy. When I think of a raccoon, first of all, raccoons aren't afraid to navigate through the dark. They're more nocturnal. So week 1, some of your best ideas, your best creativity, your best plans or inspiration may be coming through at nighttime. For some of you may have a desire or just will just be more active at nighttime. When I say active, this could be that maybe you're having more vivid dreams while you're sleeping, or maybe you just can't sleep at all and you just need to do something. Being more active at nighttime. When I also think of raccoons, I also think of balance between the shadow and the light, because they have, even with their face and their tail, their whole body really, it's a mixture of colors of like light and dark. So bringing in the balance of your shadow side and your light side. And also raccoons have a natural mask. So think about how you're presenting yourself. Like we all naturally wear a mask to some degree to handle certain areas of our roles in our life. Like we're not going to be 100% acting the same way at work than we would at home, for example. We may not act 100% the same way in front of our parents with certain things than we would with our close group of friends, you know, for example. So Spirit is saying, you know, still be authentic, even when you do feel like you have to wear kind of a different mask or a different hat at different times. It's still be you, but be mindful of the image you're putting out, if that is making sense. You don't want to go so off brand within yourself that you are just basically fooling people and wearing a false fake mask 100%, if that is making sense. Know who you are. The message of resourcefulness. So making use of what you have, kind of going back to that energy of like using your tools and your skills, using the resources around you. Maybe some of you need to look into researching resources that you can use and apply to whatever your needs are during this time. The message here on the bottom is you have all the resources you need. So Spirit is reminding you of that. And then once you apply those resources, yes, eventually things will come into being. Yes, eventually you'll get the answer. Yes, eventually things will come to fruition. Yes, eventually you'll understand. However this applies to you at that time. Going into week 2, we have the King of Swords energy. And in this deck, we have a hawk. So week 2 is definitely an energy of focus. I feel a lot of focus coming through, needing to be more mindful of what you're focusing on, where you're putting your attention, focusing on getting things done. It's also an energy of being clear and decisive, and expressing what's on your mind, expressing your ideas, even if it's just getting your ideas out on paper for the time being until you're ready to execute them, having honest discussions between yourself and others. Also, with it being a hawk, hawks also, again, this energy of seeing things from a bird's eye view, different perspective, but also in terms of going after what you want. Like a hawk will be patient and observe from above before they go in for the attack. You know what I mean? Before they go after what it is that they desire or need. They don't just, you know, they carefully plan. So week 2, I definitely get this energy of like planning carefully, planning accordingly, before just taking action on something or before you move forward with something and things like that. You may also want to look up the energy spiritual symbol for a hawk as well for week 2, because that animal medicine is around, just as for week 1 raccoon animal medicine was around. Okay, so I just heard falling from grace, and how I'm taking that is that sometimes I hear things and I have to just figure out what it actually means, because sometimes I don't actually know why they're saying this. Okay, so I heard falling from grace. So how I'm just taking this, just in terms of what I'm feeling, is that maybe there's a fallout between you and someone else, or maybe there already has been, or maybe there will be one coming, or maybe you're healing from it already. A fallout, a disagreement, or maybe someone who was on their high horse, whether it was somebody else or whether it is you, are just feeling like you're knocked down from where you were, and now you're in this recovery stage. But it was necessary for somebody to be humbled again, for somebody to see a deeper truth. Falling from grace, for some reason there could be a realization of people that have been considered in high regard, now no longer being considered in high regard, if that makes sense. This could be somebody else that you're seeing, somebody else that you know are in your life, somebody, it could even be a public figure, or it could even be you for some of you, if that makes sense. So take it how it resonates with you, release what doesn't. Somebody comment and remind me to look up falling from grace on Google, because I need to figure that out a little bit deeper. Also, week 2, we have the energy of a swan. It says grace on it. So I feel like, even though, if this is you falling from grace for some reason, or feeling like you will redeem yourself. Now, if it's a public figure or someone else or somebody else in your life, maybe they won't redeem themselves. But the swan energy with the message of grace is about how you handle it, handling the situation elegantly, handling the situation with what's the word, tact, like handling the situation in the most respectful way possible, is what I feel coming through in terms of how you navigate it. And also in the sense of grace and beauty, like appreciating the beauty in life, even some of the difficult things or difficult lessons that have a beautiful lesson at the end of the day, that you come out better for. That's the energy I'm getting from this. You may want to also, there's a lot of there's 2 birds here for week 2. So when I think of birds as well, I think of messages coming in, messages being received. So whether that's higher, more messages in terms of like psychic downloads you're receiving, messages from your ancestors coming through, signs from your spirit team, those that coming through. But for some of you, this could also be actual messages or conversations happening, whether it's news that you expected or not expected, that kind of a thing. Also dealing with your emotions gracefully, because swans, they are around water, and water is emotion. So learning to deal with your emotions in a graceful way, differently than in the past. is coming through. The message on this is to appreciate the beauty inside and all around you. I'll share a little secret. So, you know how people stereotypically, due to movies and whatnot, they're like, oh, what's your Indian name? Which I do not like, obviously. But do I have a second name? My indigenous name, yes, it is Swan Dancing. And I was given this name by one of the chiefs on my mother's side of the family. I say one of them because my family is mixed with tribes on both sides. But I was given that name by him because when I dance gracefully like a swan. So they named me Swan Dancing. That is my second name. I don't tell a lot of people that, but now it's out there. Hello. What I'm also seeing for week 2 is the message of no and then eventually. So for week 2, an answer that you may be wondering about, the answer is a no. At least right now. Eventually that answer can change. Or should you do it right now? No, but maybe later, maybe eventually. That kind of a thing. So however this resonates with you, that's coming up for week 2 as well. Going into week 3, we have the Two of Chalices, which is the Two of Cups. Now, there is duck energy here, so you may want to look up the spiritual symbolism for a duck. Yet again, another bird that is around water. So sit with your emotions, like reflecting on how you sit with your emotions when it comes to relationships in particular, whether or how you deliver your emotions, whether this is with romantic relationships, friendships, family, work partnerships, etc., or even the relationship to self. Because this duck is on water and it's a reflection going on. The duck's reflection, but also there are 2 people here. Up at the very top, there's 2 faces. So 2 people connected to each other. It's almost like their heads are connected, like they share telepathic communication to where they know what the other is thinking or feeling, possibly, is what I'm picking up. But at the same time, it's reflecting from the water. So just remembering that relationships are a mirror. So what are the relationships in your life showing you about you? What are you learning from the relationships? Do you like the reflection? If you like the reflection, then you're on the right path. Continue. If you don't like what is reflecting back to you about yourself or about the relationship as a whole, okay, can this be worked through, or is it time to move on? So however it's resonating for you. Also, in the sense of reflecting on this idea of deeper partnerships. So for some of you, you may be ready to take things to the next level in a partnership. Romantic partnership, business partnership, friendship, family, etc. You may be wanting to take things to a deeper level in a partnership and growing the bond. And for others of you, after that reflection process I spoke about, you may be considering taking things in a different direction. So take what resonates with you, release what doesn't. We have koala coming up for week 3 in September, or whenever you see this, the koala. So that's one of the animal medicines we have during that time. Stronger empathy, needing to have empathy for others, needing to have empathy for yourself. If you are a psychic empath, expect your intuition to be just even stronger about what somebody else is going through. But needing to lend a listening ear more is what I'm hearing as well. The message here is speak less and listen more. So some of you need to kind of get out of your own mind a little bit and really hear someone else out, or really listen to what spirit is trying to tell you. Listen to spirit, listen to your intuition. The other messages here are something around week 3. The messages are doesn't feel right and don't do it. So if something is not feeling right around week 3, however this resonates with you and your life, or even any of the other weeks in September, don't do it. It doesn't feel right. Your empathy, your intuition is on point. Trust your emotions. It doesn't feel right. So going into week 4, we have the Ace of Chalices, which is the Ace of Cups. And in this image, we actually have a snake here for week 4. and this snake is pouring out water. So what I'm sensing from week 4 is rebirth energy, in the sense of a snake shedding its skin, shedding a lot of emotions as well, releasing a lot of emotions. So for some of you, this is going to be super happy emotions, because I just feel somebody, I just see this image of someone like crying happy tears and holding a trophy and like being supported and everybody clapping around them. So happy emotions, feeling like you're getting the recognition that you're deserving because you have shed your old skin and now you're this new version of you. For others of you, I am feeling week 4 in the sense of you are realizing, in the more negative sense of viewing a snake, because you know there's positive and light to all things. In the positive side, rebirth. The snake is rebirth. The snake is representing the Kundalini energy coming through, representing awakening, representing transition. But in the more negative light, I feel week 4, you're going to begin to realize who were the snakes in the grass, who was being sneaky, who was sneaking up, that trying to be unseen and doing things unseen that did not have your best interest in mind, things like that. Removing the poison from your life, But the thing is, this is a rattlesnake. So the thing about rattlesnakes too is that they actually warn you before they strike. So I think Spirit is saying around week 4, either you have already seen warnings or will be seeing warnings, or or healing from warnings, but there were warnings along the way that some of you ignored and then you got caught up. And others of you, Spirit is saying, notice the warning signs so that you don't get caught up, if that makes sense. But either way, a lot of emotions being expressed week 4, a lot of emotions being revealed, whether it's within yourself or whether it's between you and another person or a group of people, realizing things. I am hearing word vomit for some of you, so being mindful of if you're the person who's doing word vomit, just be kind of mindful of how you want to express yourself. But maybe some people are word vomiting on you just like out of nowhere, that kind of a thing. But I am still getting a lot of positive energy around week 4, because whatever these expressions of emotions are, it is leading to a greater good. Like I said, shedding of the skin, transformation, rebirth energy. Some of you, if you are considering tapping into or working with more of an ancestral practice, for example, like Ifa or something like that, then this, if that is speaking to you, then this could be the encouragement to do that research. If that is something you've been considering, whether you are doing it on your own or considering whether or not you should get initiated, and this is for a specific group of people who this is going to resonate with. Just do your research first before deciding just if you want to just learn things on your own or get initiated, etc. Do the research, etc. But know your power. Know your power. The power is already in you, by the way. All of you. The power is already in you. You don't need somebody else to necessarily validate you with power. It's already in you. Going into week 4, someone or something did not like that I said that. They don't want you to know you have the power, but you do. Going into week 4, porcupine energy. You may want to look up the animal medicine for the spiritual meaning of a porcupine. Again, porcupines have natural protection. They have quills that protects them from predators. So needing to do things that are protecting your energy. Like I have my protection energy here, made from my friend Sosa from the podcast, the Bridge Between podcast. You know, if you, whether it's protection oil, whether it's crystals, whether it's anything else, just like use your resources, your tools for protection, and to protect your energy, to protect your ideas, to protect your intellectual property. That's what's coming up for week 4. But because the quills are also tools too, like they're protection, but they also people use porcupine quills to make tools for themselves to use. You know what I mean? Like things like that. The message here is innocence. So I also pick up this as, even as much as this porcupine is protecting itself, look at it playing with the flowers. I don't know if it's eating the flowers or playing with the flowers, but it's so cute. It's got flowers. So what I'm taking this to mean is even some of the people that come across as tough are actually soft on the inside, or some of the people that are like guarded or even do hurtful things, they're actually soft on the inside, and it's something in them that actually just wants to be heard and understood. So I'm hearing catch more bees with honey, kill them with kindness, those kinds of things. Show more compassion for week 4, for yourself and for others. Also, the message of innocence. So try not to throw so much judgment, because if you don't know all the facts, you know, somebody could very well be innocent, if you know what I mean. Whoever that applies to. So don't judge others so harshly, and stop judging yourself so harshly. This is tapping into a more playful, gentle, inner child energy. So do some inner child work for inner child healing, and also do things that are more playful. The message for week 4 is free yourself of guilt and shame. And also my green drink is programmed with heart chakra healing. So you may want to do things like this as well for week 4, and programming what you're intaking into your body for healing purposes as well. In particular, week 4, you may want to work on your heart chakra, which is probably why that message came to mind. Oh, we talked about support earlier. One of the messages for week 4 is support team. So you do have a support team around you, and if not yet, then one will be coming. Whether this is actual people in your life, like whether this is the right kind of business team or partnerships or collaborations or friendships, whether it's a support team coming from your significant other or your family, whether it's a support team from your ancestors, your spirit team, loved ones in the great beyond, even the animals, you know, the plants that are living, whatever it is, you have a support team in week 4. And if you don't feel it yet, it's coming, it's on the way. Divine protection. And for some of you, what Spirit is saying is you're going to understand the reasons for everything between now and 6 months. So this is week 4 for September, or whenever you're seeing this reading. So whenever you're seeing this reading in week 4 of that month, between week 4 of that month and 6 months from then is when you're going to begin to see more of the results, more of the understanding of what has taken, and probably even more support for you and your emotions and everything you've been working towards. So that's what I see going on right now. If you choose to, you could always tip by buying me a coffee. The information is down below in the description. I appreciate exchanges of energy. If this reading resonated, or maybe it will resonate later if you like come back through each week as it plays out and you see it play out, let me know how it resonates, how it played out for you. Comment it below. Remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share, and I will talk to you guys another time. Bye.